morning. All right. Make sure I'm going to be all in the picture. Just a tad bit. Good morning. This is the last day of March already, right? Last day of Butts and Guts. We'll see what next month holds. How about that? And my little trusty knee pads, because my knees love these, right? The other thing that is, it helps me keep from doing weird stuff with my feet. Shoulders are back and down. We're just gonna warm up a little bit. I'm gonna sit back in my heels and come up, sit back in my heels and come up, pulling my abs up and in, stretching into my low back. Because believe it or not, your glutes are right there next to your back muscles, and when your back muscles are tight, things don't work well. Let's do a couple more. One more. That, and we're just getting the hips opened up a little bit. We're gonna take your left leg straight back. Shoulders are back and down. Think about pulling yourself away from the floor. We're gonna just pick up that leg and we're gonna hold it out. So what happens a lot of times is this, what it turns out, keep the toe down, right? So we're gonna wag across, stand on a parallel plane, right? So not only are you warming your glutes up, but your abs are getting some work, right? We like when the abs are getting some work. Just over and across, thinking about keeping that foot down at 6 o'clock. Let's do 4, 3, 2, come back. We're going to switch. And again, get set. Take the leg back first, come up. Pulling your core in, so when we swipe back and forth, that toe is going to stay in a 6 o'clock position, right? Facing the floor. And I can feel a little back, glutes, hamstrings, and abs, of course. And you can hear my voice a little bit, right? And again, this is a great way just to wake up your glutes, low back. Pushing away, right? Let's do 4, 3, 2, and come back. We're gonna go right back into stretch. Stretch. You should feel like you can move just a little bit easier now. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1. Nice. Shoulders are back and down. Extend the leg. I'm going to hike this hip up. So when I hike it up, my toe turns out and my glute activates more, right? So we're just going to tap the floor. Leave that hip high, right? You can feel your glute working pretty well right now. You can also feel the outside of your leg. Pull your navel in. And 4, 3, 2, we're gonna switch legs, bring it in, switch, lift that right hip and tap the floor, tap the floor. Shoulders are back and down. It's really easy to collapse. I don't want you to collapse. And 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Come back to that neutral position, stretch back. And again, every time we do this, you should feel like you can get into it a little better, right? Pull your navel in through the whole movement. Go 1 more, please. Hands go back underneath, shoulders are back and down. Press away. That gives your wrists a little reprieve from the pressure. 6 o'clock, hips are in neutral, right? Go ahead, pick up the leg, then bend the knee. So what happens is people get this weird cockeyed leg thing, and they're like, but I am lifting. Think about your inner thighs squeezing towards each other. Lift, lift, lift. If you're lifting super high, that means your legs turned out, your hips high. Or you're just freaking limber as heck, right? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Let's switch. Keep it straight out. Shoulders are back down. Lift first. Everything's in neutral. Bend the knee, right? Ready, push. Push up, push up, push up. Again, pull your navel towards your spine. Keep pressing away from the floor. Hips stay in neutral. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to get off the arms and the wrists, right? Especially the wrist. Roll them around, make them happy. We get really weird things happen sometimes in our brain, like, oh, we're doing it better this way, and truly we're not. So I want to put the yoga block between my knees just a little bit, because I want to feel like I have to like put it there already. That's how much I'm already squeezing. Right? So squeeze together. As soon as you squeeze together, your glutes are active. Now, pelvic tilt just slightly. Right? So I'm not trying to like do crazy. Just enough to know that you're in a neutral pelvis. Right? So shoulders are back around. I want you to think, sit, squeeze, sit, squeeze. That's the whole move, right? Squeeze, sit, squeeze. Focus on driving through your hips, just waking up the glutes. And if you're not sure, put your hand on it, right? You're at home, no one sees you. And squeeze up, and squeeze up. Concentrate on driving through the hips, squeezing the block, making sure everything's pulled together. Give me one more. Nice, go ahead and take that block out. So, when we're working specific areas, other things are working, don't get me wrong, but you want to make sure the glute, in this case, is the primary mover. We do dumb things. Our bodies goes, oh, let's try it this way. This way gets you hurt, right? Taking the pads out, and I'm going to go onto the floor, onto the back. Set myself up for success by putting that one column down there. Take the opportunity to fix your clothes. I literally try to think about spreading my back out on the floor, lengthening out my spine, pulling the navel in. That's first and foremost, because I want to feel comfortable here. Yes, you want to feel comfortable when you're working out. How about that? Because when it's time to engage, right? Squeeze the block between your feet, little pelvic tilt. This should feel okay because we've already stretched, right? One more. We're gonna bridge. Ready? Bridge. What's your primary? Your glute is your primary mover. Thrusting those hips. Thrusting those hips. Nice job. Shoulders are back and down. Abs are in. Keep squeezing your glutes. Find it, find it, find it. They're finding me, that's for sure. Let's do 4, 3, 2, rest for a second. So you definitely know your glutes are where they're located at. I'm actually putting my foot on top of the, not actually, I'm putting my foot on top of the block. Yes, it's on the midline. I'm gonna give myself a little extra here. I'm not trying to push, I'm just supporting myself so I don't lose balance. Now squeeze your glutes before you even start. My left foot is still pushing the block. I'm pushing down slightly with my right foot and my inner thighs are active. Ready? Bridge up, bridge, drop, bridge, relax your neck. It's not the one moving, right? Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep going. You're getting it. You can definitely tell things are working back there. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. All the way down. I'm going to switch out. So again, when I'm doing this, I think a little push down so the block doesn't go anywhere. Push into the block. Think about those inner thighs staying active. The leg coming across is a little more active on the adductor because it's cross our central body line. Abs are engaged. You ready? Here we go. Bridge and drop. What's your primary mover? Still your glutes. Think about your heels right in the floor. I adjusted. Feel free to always adjust, but you can feel a little difference in the legs, right? Like I'm definitely getting more hamstring on one versus glute on the other. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Last one. Come down, grab the block. Straighten the legs for just a second. Shake them out. So officially, I've not done like crunches or any straight abdominal work, but I already feel my abs pulling in, which is a fantastic. Not this between the knees this time. So when I see people do this reverse crunch, they do kind of crazy stuff. Just because you're limber enough to drive your knees this way doesn't mean you're doing the crunch, right? What I want to think about is lifting and curling up, not so much about driving my knees here, right? Curl up, curl up, curl up. Feel the lengthening of your back, and you can hear it in my voice that my abdominals are working. Nice job. Keep that neck nice and long, shoulders are relaxed. Keep it working, keep it working. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. And feet into the floor. Woo. So collapsing your knees into your chest because you're super flexing is not making your abs work that hard. It's just allowing your legs to drop onto your chest. You have to roll your tailbone off the floor, right? No different than if you started a pelvic tilt, right? The only difference is you can't do that pelvic tilt well because you're already in a kind of a crunch position. We're going again. So I want you to think toes on the floor, curl up, tap the floor, curl up, tap the floor. 3, and drop. 4, drop. 5. Nice job. Keep breathing. 7, 8, 9. Keep working it. So you should be able to feel between your navel and your pubic bone the most. Let's do 3 more here. And 2. Last one. Feet go on the floor. I'm going to move the block for just a minute. I love the way these pants look. I do not like the way these pants wear. Look at that. Feet go wide. Little range of motion for the hips and the low back. When your hips are tight, your back's tight. When your back's tight, your hips are tight. Again, they all just kind of like squish together there. Let's do 1 more each side. So the goal here is to keep stretching in between and lengthening things out. All right, so right ankle's on left knee. I want you to start with pelvic tilt. Pelvic tilt. Pelvic tilt. So you should definitely feel your driving force, which is your left glute. Can you bridge up now? Bridge, drop, bridge, drop. Obviously, you're not going to get as high, but the key is keeping those hips in neutral. So my standing foot, my left foot, I'm stuttering because I'm counting, right? I want to think about using my whole foot, not like the outside edge or the inside edge. Go one more. I'm not really using my toes, by the way. My toes are relaxed. Again, I feel a stretch in my hips. I'm going to start with a pelvic tilt. Why? Because I want to know that that glute is going to activate when I want it to activate. Let's do one more pelvic tilt. And here's your bridge. Squeeze your glute, lower down. Squeeze your glute, lower down. And if you notice, you can only get so high, right? And then there's a wall. But you should be able to feel the glute active, right? And again, I can move my toes easily in my shoe. Long neck. Let's do 5 more here. 5, drop, 4, drop, 3, drop, 2, last one, and rest. Go ahead, do your 90-90s. What was interesting is like the last 3 or 4, I felt like I had my range of motion all of a sudden just stretched open, which is fabulous, right? Here's 4, 3, 2, 1 more, come back to the center. So if you only had 15 minutes, right? You've worked core muscles, right? As in torso, right? You've worked straight abdominals and you've worked straight glutes. You've also worked inner thighs or adductors, inner thighs, and hamstrings, the back of your upper leg. 15 minutes, right? Can you imagine just doing something for 15 minutes every single day? And down the road, you're going to see changes. And then you're going to want to do a little bit more because why? You see changes and it makes your body feel good. We like that. All right, so we're going to take the leg out, pull your abdominals in, pelvic tilt, right? Lift it up. We're going to bridge, bridge, push, push. This one's a little harder now. Lift, right? Squeeze your everything. Let's do 3 more here. 3, drop, 2, drop, last one, nice. I wanted to show that I was not like driving my elbows in and lifting through that. If this is too hard, you can modify it. You can keep the leg in, but work your way where you can have that leg fully extended, hips stay in neutral. So go ahead and tuck. Ready? And lift, lift, lift. 3, 4, 5. Only doing 10. 8, 9. Last one. Bring it down. Go ahead and straighten those legs. Woo. So again, we've done a couple rounds of reverse crunches. Nothing crazy, but I can feel like this pulling down, which is awesome. Right? Because we're working core muscles, we're not just working abdominals. All right, so we're going to take the legs over to the right. So you have this nice little stretch. It's like, oh, this is so wonderful. I want you to think about this top leg. That shoulders are relaxed. And again, you still have a little bit of a stretch, not horrible. Pick up the leg. You're going to kick it out and bring it back. Right? Did you like that? I said bring it back and that's all I got. Exactly. Right? If you're not sure what's working, feel right there. You should be able to just feel this. One more. Stack it, flip it, boom, right? Again, let it settle for a minute. Let this hip go, okay, this feels awesome. Pick up the leg. You're on the track of your hip, right? And I just think about push back. I don't get very far because it gets hard right there. And if I keep everything in alignment, it's not going to go up anywhere very far. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1 more. And bring it down. Finding the sides of our hips is important because everything's freaking connected. Just where the body is, right? If something's out of alignment, everything's out of alignment. So now your 90-90s on your back should be okay. Let's do 1 more. All right. Oh my goodness. Get a head rush. So keep working into your hips, right? Because this will get looser and your body's just going to be happy. Your back's not going to get achy as much. So that was literally 21 minutes of stretching and working. You know, you all have 20 minutes. I'm sure you watch TV, you read books, you do all kinds of stuff, right? Do you need all the gadgets? No. But activating your glutes in the morning is super important. If your glutes don't work well, right, your balance will be off. I hope you have a wonderful day. So it doesn't look like I'm like, I'm Priscilla from Midwest Dance and Fitness Center. That's a quick 20-minute workout. Peace, love, happiness.